Hey everybody, Brandon here. Welcome back to another video. Today we're going to be starting another series. This is series number 2 of 3 for the week. And we are playing the Sicilian Dragon. So this is going to be an interesting opening. We already have Queen F3 played. So we're not getting anything immediately like theoretical, which I think is fair. The problem at this level is people don't really know too much theory. So they're probably going to go bishop c4, I'd imagine. And after bishop c4, oh, they don't do it. Okay, that's good. Against most of these setups, I'm going to want to go g6. And I think now is no exception. Right. So there's going to be situations where the dragon is going to be challenged. And we need to discuss those points when we get to them. I will be doing a breakdown of this opening and all of the other ones that we're going to be playing throughout the series. This is why I played knight c6. We'll get to that in a moment. But yeah, I'll be doing a breakdown on how to play these openings, at least what I'm recommending, and we'll move on from there. And we'll be doing a bunch of lessons. This will be over the course of about 16 weeks. We'll be focusing on these 3 openings, so about 3 or 4 months. So the problem with this bishop c4, and that's why I play knight c6, is now we actually have the move knight e5, and this defends e7 and also gets the bishop pair, and we're extremely happy about this. Knight e5. Also, it's very easy to miss the f7 is defended. So at this level, I would not be surprised if sometimes they just take on f7. Because noticing that, oh, my queen's attacked, but don't I have mate? Sometimes you just think about that, but you don't realize knights move backwards. It's something I think I fell for with the white pieces many times when I was starting out. So we'll have to see how this one goes. All right, so they go queen e2. Excellent. And now we get the bishop pair. So I'm going to go d6 here. And I want to go d6 because I want to defend my c-pawn. Queen e2 looks reasonable. I think d4 was maybe a bit more challenging, or knight f3. They really should be going for development here. And since we have the bishop pair, we can kind of coast on that. Maybe knight f6 wasn't necessary because d4 might be playable now. That's okay. That means we get like a normal-ish position. Okay, so they're worried about bishop g4. I'm just going to castle. You don't want to play b6 because e5 might hurt. And yeah, they're kind of going for me here. Interesting. One way you can stop this, that we're going to see quite a bit in the dragon, is actually h5. And I think h5 is good here. The idea of h5 is to force some sort of release of tension on this side of the board. And it's not necessarily forced, but moves like g5 we're extremely happy to see, because all of a sudden, if they play something like g5, then they don't have h4, h5 here, right? There's no more way to break through unless they make a sacrifice or play f4, f5, which is kind of a lot more to ask, especially when they've played c3, because when they castle long, their king is going to be just a little bit weaker. So we're just going to continue on with our development with knight to d7 here. And a funny move I like is actually c4. So we're going to talk a lot about these Alapin positions because I think that's one area where sometimes the dragon can suffer. And what we're going to try to do is find treatments against these positions where it's not so bad. And of course, this will all be mentioned in due time. So I could take on h3. I could try defending the pawn with bishop e6, but then there's knight to f4. I love giving this check. It's just nice to give a check like that. You know what I could do? Knight d3 to e5. That's actually pretty good. So I'm wondering if we throw in bishop g4. Right? We throw in bishop g4, ask them where they're going, because I'm not really sure what their best square will be here. And this is exactly why I did it. Because now we actually have knight d3. So we could throw in bishop takes h3, but the problem is it looks like it's working until you see rook takes h3, knight d3, rook takes d3. And instead of winning a queen, we only win an exchange. So knight d3 check first is the better option. And now after king f1, which looks like the only move, we now take on h3. So we remove the defender of the queen. So we're not just winning the queen for and giving up a piece for it. We're actually winning much more than that. And that's the first game, which is cool. So again, these queen f3 openings, I really recommend playing knight c6, because knight c6, it's kind of like a strange move, but it's very effective, because anytime they try any tricks with bishop c4, you just have knight e5. And this forks the two pieces and makes an exchange that you're extremely happy about, which is getting the bishop pair. And again, a lot of people miss that the knight actually moves backwards. It's a surprising amount of times, actually. But here, after takes, this is what we would call an Alapin structure, where they play c3 and d4. We're going to be talking at length about the Alapin. We're going to talk a lot about the Yugoslav attack and many more tries that White has when they're trying to fight for some sort of advantage. Of course, I only think there's a few things that might bother us, but we will be discussing this as time goes on. So this was a bit of a shorter one, but I hope you guys enjoyed, and I will see you tomorrow with a new video. So thanks for watching, and I'll see you then. Bye-bye.